Hi everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the case of Patricia Guardado. This one is particularly sad when you know about Patricia, and it's really sad when you know that there's no answers. This is going to include a lot of family quotes. It seems like the family really talked about her a lot after this happened, which I always love to see. I love hearing from the family about their loved one that has passed on. But we're going to go ahead and get into this one, and all the links I use for research will be down below, like always. So, on Patricia's headstone, engraved in Spanish, is this quote: "Life goes on, I won't be far. If you need me, think of me. Although you can't see or touch me, I'll be among all of you, and you'll feel me within the love in your hearts." End quote. So, Leonore, the mother, she calls Patricia her oldest child, her first love. Patricia loved dancing. She was a parishioner at her church. She was very smart and responsible. She liked going to school. She loved going to work. Gloria, her little sister, said she was the typical little sister who stole Patricia's clothes and makeup so that she could be just like her. And as a younger sister, I really related to that statement. I was the same way with my sister. Patricia, or Patty, as her family often called her, was a first-generation American. Her family originally came from Mexico. She was a sophomore at UALR, and she had been studying international business, on track to graduate a year early. She was also excelling in her job as a bank teller. She also babysat her cousins in the evenings. On October 11th, 2011, Leonore and the girls stayed late with Patty while she was babysitting, which was a rarity because the younger sisters had school the next day. In a very heart-wrenching quote from Leonore, she says, "Maybe it was God telling me, stay with her today, stay with her right now." End quote. So that unsettling feeling was still with her the next morning. Patty was dressed, hair and makeup done, and she was ready for the day of school that she had a class at 9. And Leonore said she looked so pretty, and Patty would respond with, "Oh, you're just saying that because you're my mom. Well, bye, I'm going to go now." And that would be the last time that Leonore saw her daughter alive. That evening, Gloria spotted Patty's car parked in the fast food parking lot where she would occasionally park when campus parking was full. But Patty was not there, nor were her belongings. Leonore says that they called the police immediately, and that the police were actually very quick to get there, and that is when the investigation began. The family was told by police that both traffic cameras near the two entrances to the Burger King where she had been parked were not working. On October 14th, about 200 people gathered at St. Edward, the church where she was parishioner, to pray for her safe return. On October 16th, Leonore went to Mass, and she says, "I was just praying, please bring my daughter home. Please bring me my daughter." She would get Patty back, just not the way she had hoped, because while she was at the church, she received a phone call from the detective. An unidentified body of a young woman had been found. A fisherman had been in a rock quarry in Pulaski County, and that is when he had found Patricia's body. Detective Seigler had been handling the case since the beginning, and has said that finding evidence has been very difficult. They say, "We looked for people with businesses, videos, trying to get video footage of the area. We weren't able to find that. We interviewed people out there to see if there was an altercation or anything like that. We couldn't find anybody who could confirm that at all. Basically, all we had was that she showed up to school and then she disappeared." End quote. So, Patricia's body was taken to the Arkansas State Crime Lab for an autopsy, and it was ruled a homicide. But there is no information regarding the autopsy, as police have said that this is still an ongoing investigation and will not release that information as of now. Even information like if her purse was left in her car or who her final calls were made to are still being withheld, even to her own family, so they don't know anything either. There is actually a sign saying, "Park here at your own risk," and that hangs over where her car was found. And I don't know if that was. I don't know, that kind of weirded me out a little bit. Like, park here at your own risk. Like, I get that something horrible happened there potentially, because something could happen to someone else like that. It's just weird that they hung a sign there. I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking about it in a weird way. But that's also broke my heart that there is now a sign there because of what happened to her. So we're going to get into a quote from Gloria, and she says, "My role model was gone. She was important for my sisters and I. Her being gone, it passed down a lot of responsibility to me. She was also my sister's role model." End quote. And a quote from Leonore. "She managed to study while she had to work a lot to pay for her school. She wanted to continue with her degree in international business, to see her accomplishments, for her to fulfill her dream, that she would get married and have children, hoping that she would be very happy. She was so nice. She was my pride." End quote. So, police believe Patty was killed October 12th, the same day that she went missing. And Glory says, "Our whole family just needs that closure. We don't know why. We don't know who did it. We don't know why they did it. We know she couldn't have done something to make someone do something so horrible to her. There's no way she could hurt anybody that bad. It's hard for us to live like that. My mom still drives her car, Patty's car that she was driving that day." End quote. And I also saw in an article, Gloria um, says that it's kind of weird for her because she is now the age uh, when Patty went missing. She was 11, I believe, when Patty went missing, and now she's the same age as Patty, and it was just a weird feeling for her, which I can get that. It's like so much time has passed and nothing has gotten done, and now you're the same age as your missing sister. So, I remember seeing that and it gave me chills. So, a lot has changed for that family over 10 years. The parents have since divorced. Her brother Martin is serving in the U.S. Army. All three sisters are in college now. Two are at UALR and one at Pulaski Technical College. And to end this with a final quote from Gloria, she says, "We still live every day scared. My younger sister goes to UALR. She gets stressed out. When I'm in the car by myself and there's someone following me for a suspiciously long time, I'll take an extra turn." End quote. And I wanted to end with that quote for a reason, because even all these years later, there is still side effects. There's still trauma from losing Patty and not knowing, because we don't know who did it and what happened. That person is still out there. And what if one of them, one of the sisters, were to be next? One of them is going to the school that Patty went to. You have to imagine, when you're out in public all day, could one of these people have hurt my sister? Are one of them responsible? Could they do something to me? Do they know who I am? Because this could have been a crime of opportunity. But who's to say this person doesn't know who they are? You know what I'm saying? Because they have done interviews and maybe they're aware of who this family is. So I can imagine just being scared to just go to the same school that your sister went to, because she was supposed to have school at 9 a.m. the day she went missing. I think it's unclear of whether or not she showed up. I don't think she did. I saw an article where it said she did not show up, but I only saw that in one article, so I'm not sure. So it's like, what if one of them vanishes from campus? What if one of them vanishes from a parking lot like her, if that's where she vanished from, you know? So that's why I wanted to end with that quote, because 10 years later, and they are still so, so scared, and they still have absolutely no answers. I think it's absolutely heartbreaking about what happened to her, because we genuinely don't know why, and she seemed like the kindest person. And to hear her family speak about her, she seems like a sweet, such a sweet girl that had her entire life. And it's just so, so sad. It's also, it did upset me about how that both traffic cameras near the two entrances of the Burger King just were not working, and how no one around there had any camera footage is wild to me. That is so upsetting when it could have potentially happened in such a public place and there's just nothing. Because if they had that footage, can you imagine what they could have seen? It could have brought them so much further. I genuinely hope that some justice is made in this case. I hope that either we get some more information in this case soon or someone is caught and convicted. I genuinely just hope that the family gets the closure that they need. They deserve that. My heart absolutely breaks for them, and I am so sorry about what they've had to go through and are still going through. And that is how I'm going to leave this video. I don't even know what could have happened to her, but like who did it, I guess, and why. Because we know she passed on. It's just scary to think that the person that did it is still out there. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much for listening to Patty's story. If you know anything, if you have any tips, you can submit them to the Little Rock Police Department. The LRPD tip line is 501-371-4636, and that will be on this end screen. Thank you guys again for listening to her story, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.